Foreword of Bib Ballads. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Jack Throw. Bib Ballads by Ring Lardnar. Foreword. Dear parents, don't imagine, please, it's in a boastful spirit I fashion verses such as these. That's not the truth or near it. 100 or 1,000, yes, 1,000,000 kids there may be who aren't one iota less attractive than this baby. I'll venture that your household has as valuable a treasure as mine, but mine I know, and as for yours, I've not that pleasure. And that is why my book's about just one, O dads and mothers. But babes are babes, and mine, no doubt, is very much like others. The author. End of foreword. Recording by Jack Throw, Tokyo, Japan. Section 1 of Bib Ballads. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Recording by Jack Throw. Bib Ballads by Ring Lardnar, Section 1. Goodbye, Bill. Dollar bill that I've held so tight ever since payday a week ago, shall I purchase with you tonight a pair of seats at the vaudeville show? Hark! A voice from the easy chair. Look at his shoes. We must buy a pair. Dollar bill from the wreckage saved, tell me, how shall I squander you? Shall I be shined, shampooed, and shaved, singed and trimmed round the edges too? Hark! A voice from the easy chair. He hasn't a romper that's fit to wear. Dollar bill that I cherished so, think of the cigarettes you'd buy, Turkish ones with a kick, you know. Makin's eventually tire a guy. Hark! A voice from the easy chair. Look at those stockings, just one big tear. Dollar bill, it is time to part. What do I care for a vaudeville show? I'll shave myself and look just as smart. Makin's aren't so bad, you know. Dollar bill, we must say goodbye. There on the floor is the reason why. End of Section 1. Recording by Jack Throw, Tokyo, Japan. Section 2 of Bib Ballads. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Recording by Jack Throw. Bib Ballads by Ring Lardnar. A visit from Young Gloom. There's been a young stranger at our house, a baby whom nobody knew, who hated his brother, his father, his mother, and made them aware of it too. He stayed with us nearly a fortnight, and carried a grouch all the while. Nor promise nor present could make him look pleasant. He hadn't the power to smile. He cried when he couldn't have something. He cried just as hard when he could. Kind words by the earful but made him more tearful, and scoldings did just as much good. He stormed when his meals weren't ready, and when they were ready he screamed. He went to bed growling, got up again howling, and quarreled and snarled as he dreamed. He's gone, and the child we are fond of is back, just as nice as of old. But I hope to be in some port European the next time he has a bad cold. End of section 2. Recording by Jack Throw, Tokyo, Japan. Section 3 of Bib Ballads. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Recording by Jack Throw. Bib Ballads by Ring Lardnar, Section 3. An appreciative audience. My son, I wish that it were half as easy to extract a laugh from grown-ups as from thee. Then I'd go on the stage, my boy, while Richard Carle and Eddie Foy burned up with jealousy. I wouldn't have to rack my brain or lie awake all night in vain pursuit of brand new jokes, nor fear my lines were heard with groans of pain and sympathetic moans from sympathetic folks. I'd merely have to make a face, just twist a feature out of place, and be the soul of wit, or bark and then pretend to bite, and from the screams of wild delight be sure I'd made a hit. End of section 3. Recording by Jack Throw, Tokyo, Japan. Section 4 of Bib Ballads. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Recording by Jack Throw. Bib Ballads by Ring Lardnar, Section 4. Discipline. He couldn't have a donut, and it made him very mad. He undertook to get revenge by screaming at his dad. "Cut out that noise," I ordered, and he gave another roar. And so I put him in the room and shut and locked the door. I left him in his prison cell 2 minutes just about, and, penitent, he smiled at me when I did let him out. But when he got another look at the forbidden fruit, he gave a yell that they could hear in Jacksonville or Butte. "Cut out that noise," I barked again. "Cut out that foghorn stuff. Perhaps I didn't leave you in your prison long enough. You want your dad to keep you jailed all afternoon, I guess." He smiled at me and answered his equivalent for yes. End of section 4. Recording by Jack Throw, Tokyo, Japan. Section 5 of Bib Ballads. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Recording by Jack Throw. Bib Ballads by Ring Lardnar, Section 5. Inexpensive Guests. I wonder how 'twould make you feel, my fellow food providers, to have as guests at every meal 3, count 'em, 3 outsiders. Well, that's the case with me, but still I don't complain or holler, for strange to say the grocery bill has not gone up $1. These guests of ours, to make it brief, can't really chew or swallow. They're merely dolls called Indian Chief and Funny Man and Rollo. End of section 5. Recording by Jack Throw, Tokyo, Japan. Section 6 of Bib Ballads. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Recording by Jack Throw. Bib Ballads by Ring Lardnar, Section 6. His sense of humor. Perhaps in some respects it's true that you resemble Dad. To be informed I look like you would never make me mad. But one thing I am sure of, son, you have a different line of humor. Your idea of fun is not a bit like mine. You drop my slippers in the sink and leave them there to soak. That's very laughable, you think, but I can't see the joke. You take my hat outdoors with you and fill it full of earth. You seem to think that's witty too, but I'm not moved to mirth. You open up the chicken yard, its inmates run a mile. You giggle, but I find it hard to force 1/2 a smile. No, kid, I fear your funny stuff, though funny it may be, is not quite delicate enough to make a hit with me. End of section 6. Recording by Jack Throw, Tokyo, Japan. Section 7 of Bib Ballads. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Recording by Jack Throw. Bib Ballads by Ring Lardnar, Section 7. Speech economy. Since he began to talk and sing, I've learned one interesting thing. The value of a verb is small. In fact, it has no worth at all. Why waste the breath required to say, "While toddling through the park today, I saw a bird up in a tree," when twee, pock, Bert does splendidly? Why should one say, "Please pass the bread," when ba me is easier said? And why "I'm starved, have supper quick," when lunch yelled loudly does the trick? Why "I've been riding on a train," when bye choo-choo makes it plain? Let words be few, the poet saith, so leave out words and save your breath. End of section 7. Recording by Jack Throw. Section 8 of Bib Ballads. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Recording by Jack Throw. Bib Ballads by Ring Lardnar, Section 8. Welcome to spring. Spring, you are welcome, for you are the friend of fathers of all little girlies and chaps. Spring, you are welcome, for you mean the end of bundling them up in their cold weather wraps. Breathes there a parent of masculine gender, one whose young hopeful is 7 or less, who never has cursed the designer and vendor of juvenile out-of-doors wintertime dress? Leggings and overcoat, rubbers that squeeze on, mittens and sweater a trifle too small. Not in the lot is one thing you can ease on, one that's affixed with no trouble at all. Spring, you are welcome, thrice welcome to father, not for your flowers and birds, I'm afraid, as much as your promised relief from the bother of bundling the kid for the daily parade. End of section 8. Recording by Jack Throw, Tokyo, Japan. Section 9 of Bib Ballads. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Recording by Jack Throw. Bib Ballads by Ring Lardnar, Section 9. Taste. I can't understand why you pass up the toys that Santa considered just right for small boys. I can't understand why you turn up your nose at dogs, hobby horses, and treasures like those, and play a whole hour, sometimes longer than that, with a thing as prosaic as Daddy's old hat. The tables and shelves have been loaded for you with volumes of pictures, they're pretty ones too, of birds, beasts, and fishes, and old Mother Goose repines in a corner and feels like the juice, while you on the floor quite contentedly look at page after page of the telephone book. End of section 9. Recording by Jack Throw, Tokyo, Japan. Section 10 of Bib Ballads. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Recording by Jack Throw. Bib Ballads by Ring Lardnar, Section 10. Riddles. If it's fun to take books from the bookcase, if you really believe it's worthwhile to carry them out to the kitchen and build them all up in a pile, why isn't it just as agreeable then to carry them back to the bookcase again? If it's fun to make marks with a pencil in books that one cares for a heap, to tear out the pages from volumes one likes and is anxious to keep, why isn't it pleasure to put on the Hummer a magazine read and discarded last summer? End of section 10. Recording by Jack Throw, Tokyo, Japan. Section 11 of Bib Ballads. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Recording by Jack Throw. Bib Ballads by Ring Lardnar, Section 11. Hesitation. I've orders to waken you from your nap, and orders are orders, my little chap. But I hate to do it because it seems a shame to break in on your blissful dreams. I've sat and watched you a long, long while, and not since I came have you ceased to smile. So it strikes me as wrong to arouse you, boy, from sleep that's so plainly a sleep of joy. 'Twill make a big difference tonight, of course, but perhaps you are riding a real live horse. In dreams it's a pleasant and harmless sport, so why should I cruelly cut it short? Maybe you have for your very own a piece of pie or an ice cream cone. If that's your amusement, why end it quick? Dream food can't possibly make you sick. Orders are orders, and I'm afraid it's trouble for me if they're disobeyed. But I'll bet if the boss could see you, son, she'd put off the duty as I have done. End of section 11. Recording by Jack Throw, Tokyo, Japan. Section 12 of Bib Ballads. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Recording by Jack Throw. Bib Ballads by Ring Lardnar. Section 12. His Wonderful Choo-Choos. When I see his wonderful choo-choo trains, which he daily builds with infinite pains, whose cars are a crazy and curious lot, a doll, a picture, a pepper pot, a hat, a pillow, a horse, a book, a pote, a minty, a button hook, a bag of tobacco, a piece of string, a pair of wubbas, a bodkin ring, a deck of twos and a paper box, a brush, a comb, and a lot of blocks. When I first gaze on his wonderful trains, which he daily builds with infinite pains, I laugh, and I think to myself, oh gee, was ever a child as cute as he? But when he's gone to his cozy nest, from the toil of his strenuous day to rest, and when I gaze on his trains once more, where they lie abandoned across the floor, and when the terrible task I face of putting each Pullman back in its place, I groan a little and think, oh gee, was ever a child as mean as he? End of section 12. Recording by Jack Throw, Tokyo, Japan. Section 13 of Bib Ballads. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Recording by Jack Throw. Bib Ballads by Ring Lardnar. Section 13. Cousinly Affection. Why do you love your cousin Paul? For his sweet face, his smile, and all the little tricks that charm us so. You're not quite old enough to know how cute he is, to realize how clever for a child his size. I'm sure you can't appreciate the things that make us think him great. And yet you love your cousin Paul. Is it because he's twice as small as you, just right for you to maul? Because he won't fight back or bawl? Because when he is pushed he'll fall? And where most kids would howl and squall, he takes it, nor puts in a call for mother. Am I warm at all? Is this why you love cousin Paul? End of section 13. Recording by Jack Throw, Tokyo, Japan. Section 14 of Bib Ballads. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Recording by Jack Throw. Bib Ballads by Ring Lardnar, Section 14. My Baby's Garden. My baby has a garden planted 4 days ago, and nearly half his waking hours he spends among his precious flowers with sprinkling can and hoe. My baby has a garden, and oh, how proud he is when, yielding to his pleading, we lay work aside and go to see this masterpiece of his. Behold my baby's garden, close by a rubbish pile. Look at the sprinkling can and hoe and flowers, then tell me if you know whether to sigh or smile. The flowers in baby's garden, flat on the ground they lie, 2 hyacinths, a withered pear, plucked from the pile of rubbish where they had been left to die. The flowers in baby's garden, planted 4 days ago, grow every hour a sadder sight, weaker and sicklier in spite of sprinkling can and hoe. End of section 14. Recording by Jack Throw, Tokyo, Japan.